Hello, and welcome to another exciting edition of Hidden in the Universal Vault. I'm Ryan, your host, returning back to the black and white film. Yes, we're returning back to black and white as we conclude the Francis series. And this time I'm welcoming you to my review of, well, not really the final movie, but the final movie I own in the collection. There are a few more, but I think there are like 7 of them. So 4, 5, 6, 7. So 3 more left. But anyways, you get what I'm saying. I'm welcoming you to my review of Francis Covers the Big Town. So this is the last of the Francis movies I own in the collection. Now, the Francis movies have been okay to actually pretty good. So far, the best that I've watched so far before watching this one, so far the one I enjoyed the most was Francis Goes to the Races. And it's the one that I have the highest score, the highest rating right now. So yeah, and I'm going to tell you right now, between watching the first 3, I will say this installment is probably the best in my opinion, and I'll tell you why. So I'll try my best. There's not really plot synopsis, but I'll tell you the year it came out. I forgot to mention. This movie was released in 1952. So this is, like I said again, here's what the cast is in this. You have Donald O'Connor. This time you have Yvette Duggan. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Dugay, I think I'm pronouncing. Gene Lockhart, Nancy Grid, and obviously Francis the Talking Mule, as usual, who plays himself. This also has Gail Gordon, and I think that's really about it. So, yeah, so let's talk about Francis. Francis Covers the Big Town. So, this one is a lot different than any of the other ones. This one plays sort of like a murder mystery, a whodunit story. This one felt more suspenseful. At times it felt more like a film noir. But I will say this one is actually the best of all these. Now don't get me wrong. Best does not mean, well, it's good. So basically this time we see Peter and Francis as they're now in New York City. It sort of picks up after the previous film, Francis Goes to West Point. I will say between all these is not as strong as Francis Goes to the Races. I felt that one was the best so far that I've watched. I haven't covered I believe the last 2. There are a couple more with Donald O'Connor, and then there's one about a haunted house, and that one had Mickey Rooney in the cast. It's the only one of the Francis movies that has Mickey Rooney. I don't have that movie, but if I ever get a copy, I will cover that soon. Now back to Francis Covers the Big Town. And right off the beginning, this time, Peter is, I think he's done in the service. So he leaves the service and now he's now a newspaper reporter. So now he's trying to get the scoop on everything. Entertainment, sports. Until all of a sudden, he meets out with a beautiful woman. Turns out there's a guy who wants to go after. Turns out Peter is accused of murdering a man. So basically, that man gets shot and killed, and he has to sort of like cover it up, but not really cover it up. So the man gives him the gun, and he has to go and find this guy. So now the cops come in, and now he has to go to court. So Francis, we don't know about Francis yet, but right off the bat, a lot of people don't believe. They think he's completely a schizo. He's trying these like sort of blocks and puzzles to tell him, I'm not crazy. Look, gentlemen, I'm not crazy. So now, after that, they think now he's even more crazy because they're thinking mules don't talk, right? Well, Francis is the only one that talks, just like in the previous films. I feel a sense of pattern with these Francis movies. I feel like, similar to the Land Before Time movies, I feel like let me adjust it. There you go. I feel like again with the Francis, it's similar to the Land Before Time movies. I'm gonna kind of compare the two. They're two different movies, but they sort of have parallel similarities. Francis is sort of like there to be the errand person, similar to how Littlefoot was the errand boy. Not to compare the two, they're kind of like apples and oranges, but you kind of get the parallels together. So now, like I said again, Peter is now in court, and Gale Gordon plays a district attorney who basically wants to put Peter behind bars for good. So that's his job, to get him to basically try to get him to get a life sentence without the possibility of parole. So now off the bat, he has to go, they investigate, they go together, so now Peter is handcuffed and telling Francis, please, Francis, you gotta speak. They're gonna throw him in the electric chair. So, I think the chemistry between those two characters are really good. So, really, that's really the sum of the plot. So, what did I like about this installment compared to the previous films? Well, there's lots of things. Like I said again, I don't think this is as good as Francis Goes to the Big Race. No, Francis Goes to the Races. I feel like this comes almost dead. This is sort of my second favorite because I like the whodunit style story that he's in. Like, did he murder this man? Did the other guys murder this man? So, right off the bat, they're back in court. So now Francis takes the stand, and he's like begging the judge, Peter's telling, please, let him take the stand. Please, Your Honor, let him take the stand. And then they think they can't let an animal into the courtroom. But eventually they had to let Francis in, so they're trying to get him to do the whole place your hand on the Bible, but unfortunately Francis doesn't have hands. So now they have to do will you tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God. So, but they don't say God in the movie. They just say, do you swear to tell the truth, nothing but the truth, the whole truth, so help you? So I don't know. I guess God was such a controversial word in 1950. I believe 1952 when this movie came out. Also, there are some other things I like about the movie. As I said before, watching these black and white movies, I love black and white cinematography. I think the black and white cinematography and the mouth moving on Francis. I was talking to this with my mom earlier, but she still thinks that the sitcom Mr. Ed was inspired by Francis. But honestly, I don't know. It's like comparing the Twilight Zone episode Dummy to Slappy the Dummy in Night of the Living Dummy. Again, it's apples and oranges, folks. So I think that's really about it. I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, Gene Lockhart, as I said, he played the head of the press. So now Peter, like I said, is scrambling, and then this was another one released from the Universal International's era. I think I've already discussed about that company, the International's era, compared to the Pictures era. But yeah, I think that's really about it. Guys, I don't have much to say about these movies. I feel like I'm watching more of the same. But that's a good thing. Having the same thing. Don't fix what is broken. And for 1952, for movies that were made in like the late 40s, early 50s, I hope to cover more of these, because the one I really want to check out is Francis Haunted House Goes to Haunted House. The Haunted House one I really want to check out. But unfortunately, I'd have to get another set. But you know what? That's fine. Because at the end of the day, I still recommend this. I think between all the Francis movies, I would say if you want any good Francis movies, I'd probably say Goes to the Races, and maybe You Want to See Covers the Big Town. I felt the West Point one was kind of more of the same. The first movie will always be a classic, despite the rating I gave it. These are revolutionary, and the special effects magicians, having it in black and white shows you how good special effects is. If this movie was shot in color, it would have not looked as well. It would not, Francis would look really cheap, and it would look, the special effects in that would look tacky. But having this movie in black and white really does make this movie stick out between any other black and white special effects pictures I've ever watched. So, yeah, I don't have much to say, but if you do want to check out the Francis movies, they're fun for what they are. They're a good movie, and it's definitely a movie I think kids would like. If you want to go through film history like I did, check this series out. I hope to plan to watch more of these movies, but as it stands, I'm really happy to watch the series. I'm glad I came to a close. It has ups and downs. I'm still recommending Francis Covers the Big Town. But yeah, check out all of them, I guess. They're for what they are, they're revolutionary in my opinion. So let's go ahead and rate this right now. I'm going to give Francis Covers the Big Town a 4 out of 5. And the reason I locked in at a 4 out of 5 is I feel the murder mystery aspect really bumped it up a point. If it didn't have the murder mystery, who's done it style, it had 3 elements of it. Film noir, comedy, murder mystery, a whodunit story. I meant to say that, but actually had those 3 elements. Murder mystery, a whodunit story, and I forgot what the other one I said. Film noir is what I meant to say. So it has all 3 of those, and that's what really sticks out with Francis Covers the Big Town. I was really entertained, and that's why I locked it in at a 4 out of 5. But yeah, guys, check out Francis Covers the Big Town. I'm going to say this right now. If you have interest and you want to go back in time and look at film history and look at how special effects works from the old days of film, especially for a movie about a talking mule, sounds good with me. I actually remember getting this at a yard sale I think last year. Maybe this year I got $1, and for 4 movies for $1, that was actually a steal. So yeah, check out Francis Covers the Big Town. Very revolutionary for what it is. So that's my review of Francis Covers the Big Town. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you do like the content of the channel, like, comment, subscribe, click the bell, ring the bell to get all my video notifications so you don't miss a single video on the channel. I'm on Letterboxd, guys, so you can check me out there as well. I have a ton of content on the channel, so lots of stuff on that channel. So yeah, like I said, guys, let me know what you think of Francis Covers the Big Town. I want to know in the comments what you guys think of this movie. So yeah, check out Francis Covers the Big Town. Very revolutionary for what it is. So that's it, guys, and as always, keep watching those Universal movies, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.